Good morning, everyone, and welcome in to the EKU Game Day Show. We're live here on WBON-TV, and as we come at you live this morning, Michael Watkins along with Marita Kinley. Marita Jones from when you played volleyball here at EKU, and now continuing to don the maroon as you have a son making some big plays for EKU football team. But before we get into everything that's going on this year with your son playing for the Colonels, let's look back on the career that you had playing for a legendary volleyball coach. You went on to coach volleyball over at Madison Central for a while. You're still there. Assistant AD, am I right on that?
I work with athletic department, assistant principal, but I work with athletics.
Okay, so you do a little bit of everything, man, over at Madison Central. But look back at your time here, and obviously, I mean, campus and college athletics and all that stuff has changed, but what EKU means to you?
So EKU really became my home away from home.
You're from Pittsburgh area,
I'm from
right?
Pittsburgh area,
Yeah.
yep. But when I came to EKU, we had a lot of Pittsburgh people on the team. Lori Duncan was from Pittsburgh, so it was just a nice little tight-knit group that we had, and we just fell in love with it. I raised my family here, so it was just it's in our blood.
When you look at the football team this year, what's it like coming to watch your son play for the university that you played for as well?
Well, it's funny. Years ago, he was down on the hill, rolling down the hill, playing his little miniature football games on the hill. But to see him out there is awesome. It's nice for him to be close to home. And we're able to get out and support him and the team. And then we try to get on the road when we can. But for him to see him in the maroon, it's special. It's definitely something special for us.
Did you go to the Central Arkansas game when he had the interception? Were you there?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. I was actually at fall ball for Central.
Oh, yeah. Well, and those road trips they're a long way away.
That's why I missed it altogether.
But listen, that was a big play. You still got to watch it. And you see him out there. He obviously came along. Each year it seems like they've trusted him with more. He's been a huge part of the special team since he's been here, essentially. And now this year you're seeing him get more and more reps on defense and making impact plays. What was it like when he was going through that process? Because he was a great wrestler too. Obviously, there's no wrestling here at EKU. So how hard of a decision was that for him to choose where he was going to go to school and what sport he was going to play?
So it was a big decision for sure. Wrestling and football and even some track. He's grown, but he's always from very little. He's always said he wanted to play football in college. People were always surprised of that because he did so well at wrestling.
Yeah.
But push came to shove. He chose to stay close to home. His wrestling season culminated with a season-ending injury, and I think that just kind of things fell into place where he was able to stay home and rehab from that. And I think that support system that EKU provided, I think it was important and beneficial to him growing as an athlete.
Well, your husband's involved. He's a wrestling coach right now. He's involved with that program. He played at Kentucky State, so that's kind of and you talked about the blood. It's in there as well. What has it been like out here with him? Because you guys tailgate, and I feel like you and doing what you do, you all know a lot of people. So when you come here on homecoming and just all these home games, the RV lot, you're back there, it's very fun seeing all these EKU supporters coming together, especially on game day.
Oh, absolutely. They've seen him grow up. They really have. He was born here in Richmond, and they've watched him progress throughout the years, and then now onto the field. But just to come back to Roy Kidd Stadium and see, former teammates, former players that played for Eastern, and just kind of reminisce about the good old days a little bit.
It's all right to do that every now and then, right?
It is.
Well, and you said you're here now, so you came from Pittsburgh, you went to EKU, and you stuck around. I did the same thing. I'm from Eastern Kentucky, came up here, stuck around. What made you want to make Richmond your home after your time here playing for EKU?
I think we started something special here. I actually started late into teaching. I thought I was going to go into just work into higher education, and then ventured into teaching and coaching. And that path just continued here, and it just was a good place to put our roots. And continue to raise our family.
Now, you've got a younger son that's playing for Madison Central right now. He's making big plays. At a touchdown a couple of weeks ago at St. X. They're in the heart of a postseason run. So how hard is it to stay up late on Friday nights and then come here to these games early on Saturday?
I mean, it's a grind that, I think we are accustomed to just from they've been involved in sports, both of them from an early age. So it's always been like a Friday, Saturday. We're going from one event to the other, one level to the other. So that's just something, that's just what we do. So it is what it is.
We talked about the wind before we came on the air, and the Roy Kidd Stadium wind, it's very different than just normal wind gusts. It is bad today. I mean, it's 60-something degrees outside, but it feels like 30 with how strong the wind is. And you've been to a lot of games here. You've seen how the wind can impact a game. When you talk about this game today, though, when it's senior day for some of these guys, it's their season coming to an end. A lot of these players, even if they're not seniors, probably won't be here next year. And that's just the day and age that we're in college athletics. But you've been a coach, you've been a player. How important is it to end, especially the home portion of your schedule, with a victory?
Oh, that's always nice. But the biggest thing is you going out there and being in the moment and doing what you can do, doing your job. Supporting the team and your role, whatever your role may be, doing it the best of your ability. And if we come off with a victory, that's just icing on the cake. But just doing your role and being in the moment, because they don't, we can't come back to these days.
All right, so before I let you go, let's look back at your volleyball playing career again. You talked about Lori Duncan and all what she meant to you. Your sister played here as well. So what was your favorite part about playing volleyball at EKU?
Again, it goes, I think, back to the camaraderie we built with our team. We were here. We arrived at campus before anybody else. So that's our first look at who we're going to be, like our family. And we spent a lot of time together. So building that, establishing that when we first arrived, I think that is what made it super special. Obviously, the highs and lows of playing ball add to it. But it's the group of people that you spend a lot of time with that makes it special.
Well, it's a big day today. It's the last regular season game for EKU football. We'll let you get back to what you're doing. I know the family and everybody's hanging out and getting ready for the game today. We'll take our first commercial break. When we come back, we'll hear from Walt Wells about last week's game, and we'll look ahead to today's matchup and a lot more coming your way. When we come back, thank you, Marita, for joining us here on the EKU Game Day Show.
We would like to invite you to join our family at Bishop's Small Engine Repair.
Outdoor Power has become a family tradition, with 3 generations here bringing you years of experience.
We will help you find the best selection of outdoor power equipment from Co-Cadet, Grasshopper, DeWalt, Makita, Echo, Shindawa, and now still in our Georgetown store.
Or bring your equipment into our service department. We will keep it running for years to come.
And as with all families, we have to keep Mama happy. So come on in and see us at Bishop's Small Engine Repair in Richmond and in Georgetown.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
When life throws you a curveball, Richmond City Taxi is just a call away. Fast, friendly, and always dependable. Just had an eye appointment? Don't risk driving home. Let Richmond City Taxi get you there safely. We're your neighbor, on the go. Wherever you are, we'll be there. Richmond City Taxi, local, reliable, trusted. Call Richmond City Taxi at 859-779-4461.
Founded by Kentuckians for Kentuckians, Whitaker Bank is a uniquely Kentucky bank committed to the communities it serves. At Whitaker Bank, you'll find personalized service, a dedication to excellence, and a genuine desire to help you achieve your financial goals. Visit us at any of our conveniently located branches or go to whitakerbank.com to learn how Whitaker Bank can serve you. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
Cars of Kentucky is a proud sponsor of Eastern Kentucky University Athletics. In Richmond, we bleed maroon. Go Colonels. And when you're ready for your next pre-owned automobile, swing on over to Cars of Kentucky. Cars of Kentucky has vehicles starting at $3,000 and up, so we literally have something for every budget. 356 Big Hill Avenue in Richmond, or check them out, carsofkentucky.com. Let's go Colonels!
We're back here on the EKU Game Day Show. Michael Watkins, no Howard Miller today now. Gage, we'll have to get on to him a little bit. Howard is joining me each Saturday for the last 2 years when we're here at Roy Kidd Stadium. and have not talked to him today. So hopefully everything's okay with Howard Miller, one of my good buddies, and has been a tremendous asset to the Game Day Show the last couple of years. And I tell you what, there's not been a whole lot of people that have walked by the last 2 years that did not know Howard Miller. So we'll try to see what's going on with him. Hopefully he'll be here before the show goes off the air to kind of help wrap things up. Do want to look back at the last week's game. It was the second to last game of the season here at Roy Kidd Stadium and CG Bank Field. And the Colonels dropped to 4-6, losing by 10 points to Southern Utah. The difference in the game came in the second half as the Thunderbirds scored 10 unanswered points to secure the victory. After that game, Walt Wells talked about the loss, and he said, credit to Southern Utah and a really good 60-minute performance by them. And that's been one of the biggest issues for EKU each and every single football game is their inconsistencies and not playing a full 60 minutes. Walt said, I thought we played well in the first 30 minutes, then came out in the second half and didn't do the things we needed to do to win this game. After a frenetic first half with 0 punts that saw both teams put up 17 points, it was tied 17-17 at the half. The second half turned into a defensive slugfest with the Colonels struggling to find any traction on offense, which has been the case again, game in and game out. The inconsistencies on that side of the football. We saw it against Tarleton State where they were down 10-7 at halftime, didn't score a single point in the second half. We've seen it a lot this season. That offense at times can get very stagnant. It did that again last week. On the night, quarterback Miles Burkett ended the night going 9 of 16 through the air for just 115 yards and 1 touchdown pass. That was to Marcus Cowwise Jr. in the first half. His 4th touchdown in the last 2 games, while Burkett also added a touchdown on the ground. Defensively, Jaheim Ward led the Colonels with 9 tackles, 7 of which were of his lonesome, and he had 2 pass breakups. A big game for Ward again last week. Thunderbirds opened up the game with a balanced 8-play, 56-yard drive that ended with a 39-yard field goal to go up 3-0 early in the first quarter. The Colonels answered with a field goal of their own as Buzz Flabiano hit the 36-yard field goal, capping off an 11-play, 56-yard drive that took about 4 minutes off the clock in the first quarter. Southern Utah kept the scoring exchange going with a diving 6-yard touchdown run to go up 10-7 early on in the second quarter, and that ended a 9-play, 94-yard drive in that second period. The Colonels' next drive was almost cut short as a T-Birds intercepted a pass by Burkett before wide receiver Ron Van Jr. punched the ball loose as Hunter Gully fell on the loose ball to regain possession for Eastern at its own 39-yard line. The Colonels capitalized later in the drive as Burkett scrambled out of the pocket to find Marcus Cowwise for that 27-yard touchdown, tying the game at 10 with 9:05 remaining in the first half. The T-Birds responded with a 12-play, 75-yard drive that chewed up over 7 minutes of game clock, finishing with a 10-yard touchdown drive. And then with under 2 minutes left in the first half, the Colonels were set up by a 35-yard kick return by T.J. Mitchell III, aided by an additional 15 yards because of a penalty against Southern Utah. 4 plays later, Burkett found the end zone himself with his feet, scrambling 22 yards, tying the game once again going into halftime. And in that second half, Southern Utah scored the only points of the half, converting a 32-yard field goal on its own opening drive and added a 1-yard touchdown run early on in the fourth quarter. So a tough loss last week for the Colonels, back-to-back losses at home. And now today is the final regular season game at Roy Kidd Stadium and CG Bank Field this year, and you want to end it on a high note. We talked to Coach Wells during his press conference on Tuesday about the loss last week and looking ahead to this game against Abilene Christian, who comes in ranked number 18 in the country. And I also asked Coach about scheduling. That was one of the things that Howard and I talked about last week. You know, you see, like today, Austin Peay is playing out of conference. A lot of teams are. Kentucky is playing Tennessee Tech. We know how important it is for Eastern to play those FBS teams. I asked Walt about the idea of moving maybe one or both of those to the latter portion of the schedule. We'll hear from Walt Wells about all of that right now here on the Game Day Show.
From the media. Coach, take it away.
All right. Appreciate everybody being here.
obviously not a great weekend. Not second half was something that could be we have to improve on and get better. All credit goes to Southern Utah and how they came out and performed in the second half, and how we just didn't get it done as a collective group. And we've got to be better coaching, playing, and all that. But really proud of our players and the effort they gave. Everything that we saw on film is they're giving us great effort. We just got to continue to clean up some mistakes that are starting to cost us a little bit at times with our players, and make sure we have a great understanding of what we're trying to get accomplished when we come out of halftime. So I know halftime adjustments are sometimes overrated, but they are something that when we make them, we've got to make sure we do a great job of communicating and carrying that stuff out. And I think we will as we move forward. But a tough one Saturday in Roy Kidd Stadium, but another tough one coming in, a ranked opponent, Abilene Christian, who is playing for the conference title each and every week. They're playing for a share of it with Tarleton if they keep winning. And if they both win out, then Abilene will get the automatic bid. So they're playing for a lot. They're going to be motivated to come in here. They're going to look like what you would expect a Texas team to look like. They're going to be a good-looking football team, and they play that way, and they coach that way. And so it's going to be a great challenge for us, but one that we'll be up and ready for. I expect our kids to bounce back and have great energy, and we got to play for a ton of pride these next 2 weeks, and it starts with Abilene Christian. With that, I'll open it up for any questions.
All right, we'll go Michael, then Keith, and then Dick Gabriel.
Coach, when you look at these last two games, how important is it to kind of finish the season strong for these seniors, but also to kind of build some momentum going into next year?
Well, I think that's, the two things that you got to look at. Where do you want to be? All right, every FCS game that we've lost, we've been in it at halftime, and why haven't we won? That's something that we've been trying to figure out, and we'll continue to figure out and work on as we move forward through the rest of the season. Number two is, our seniors have poured a lot into this program. We've got 20 of them. We've got 10 that are really contributing, and we have to pour it out for all of them because a lot of them are hurt and can't do those things. So they need to go out on a strong note on a non-losing season, and you can't get there if you don't take care of Saturday. And so, how do you take care of Saturday? Why do I think we played well in the first half or played competitive in the first half and had our chances to win the second half? Because of the way we practice. And, these young guys are going to realize soon that they're going to be sitting in the chair of Zach Russell and other guys. And, I think Brad Gurley's on this phone. Well, he'll be a senior next year. So, but the young players that are playing for us, need to understand that, those 4 years go real fast, unfortunately. And, and so it's something that they need to go out and prepare the right way and get after it for what for them is going to be building for the next season.
I know when you lay your schedule out, in the last 4 or 5 years, you've had those FBS games at the beginning of the season. You look at some of the games that are this week. I know Austin Peay's got an out-of-conference game. Tennessee Tech's playing up north. Have you thought about, has there ever been a thought about maybe putting some of those out-of-conference games toward the back half of the schedule? Has that ever been an option for you all?
Well, it is for me. It kind of depends, I don't do the scheduling. I have everything ran through me. So when I say I don't do it, yes, I'm not saying, well, I just do it. They discuss things with me. But I would, I'm not ever going to complain about our schedule. It's just, I don't think that's right. And if you're a competitor, you expect to play who you're supposed to play, and you expect to win against who you're supposed to play. We played in 6 years, we played 12 FBS programs. That's a lot, but that's what we have to do here. And I'm okay with that. Sure. One at the end, I don't know. You look at Tennessee Tech, they're undefeated and they got to go play Kentucky. Do you want your streak broken at the end? Do you not want it started at the beginning? If it happens that way, I know they believe they're going to win, and I think they should believe that way. And I know Kentucky, way they're playing right now, they believe they're going to win, and so it should be a fun game. But it is what it is, and you just have to deal with it. The one thing that I'm proud of is, in my time here, we've never not played anybody that's not FCS or higher, and I think that's the way it should be. I'm for that. Now, does that cost you at times? Sure, it does. And when you talk scheduling, in 16 years, this will be the 16th ranked opponent that we played. I think that says a lot about what we've been doing. And I'm not here to justify what we've been doing. I'm here you asked the question, I'm answering it. I like doing that. I think that's good for your program. I think that's good for your fan base. I think that's good for building the culture of your football team. Is it always going to work out the way you want it to? No. We've got a pretty good record. I think we're sitting right at 500 against those ranked teams. So I enjoy playing ranked opponents. I think the better the opponent, you better know. You better sharpen your tool and be ready. And it keeps you fit, so to speak. And so I'm excited about the opportunity Saturday. Great Texas football team coming in here, and Abilene Christian. And like I said, I like their head coach is a good dude. I like him. I like their defensive coordinator, Nick Holt, does a great job. I've known him for a while, and I think they do a great job. And, we better be on our P's and Q's. And if we execute, if we play extremely hard like we usually do, then we'll be okay. We'll give ourselves an opportunity to win the game.
Last one for me. You talked about Abilene. When you look at the promotions and everything that goes into, trying to get crowds to come out, if fans are watching this right now, what would be the plea? Hey, listen, come out, let's support us in this final game. What would you say to the folks of Richmond and surrounding areas to come out and watch the Colonels?
Well, it wouldn't, but 2 games ago that we had a great winning streak going. I think our people do a great job for everything, game day atmosphere, everything that's going on. These seniors have poured into this program. They've been to 2 playoffs in the last 3 years, and now 4 years they've been to 2. And they deserve to have people there for them that day. It's going to be it's a fun atmosphere. It's a great, and then 2 good football teams going at it. Our record doesn't indicate how good we are or could be. And that's a reflection of a lot of things. And one of them is, obviously me. But we got to continue to come out and fight and play. I think we've always done that every year. And I think fans will come out and see a great team playing against these 2 great teams playing against each other. If you want to see good football, come check it out.
So Walt Wells talking there about the matchup today with Abilene Christian, ranked number 18 in the country. We'll look at some of their big wins, including the one over Tarleton State, the only team in the country right now, especially when you look at how good they've been, that has beaten Tarleton State. Abilene Christian is the only one. We'll look back at that game and some of the highlights throughout their season. And the matchup today with EKU. Colonels an 8.5-point favorite at home today. We'll see how that fares. A lot more to get into. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back on the EKU Game Day Show.
When it comes to auto service, 2 things are important: experience and hometown service. Hall & Sons Auto Care is starting their 20th year in business in Richmond. That's 20 years locally owned and operated. Hall & Sons Auto Care can take care of you from preventative maintenance to major engine repair. Hall & Sons Auto Care is also carrying BW towing products as well as rough country suspension and lift kits. Give us a chance to be your auto repair shop. Visit us at 209 North Keeneland Drive in Richmond.
Granite, marble, and quartz for any surface. Make a lifetime commitment you won't regret.
In the event of an accident, please contact Shane Blankenship and Brandon Witt at Berea Collision, where you will receive exceptional quality and competitive pricing. Located behind Near New Auto at 110 Fairground Road in Berea, they are dedicated to serving their local community with top-notch repairs and unparalleled customer service. Berea Collision also services RVs, buses, and campers. Call them today at 859-985-2583 to experience the Berea Collision difference. Berea Collision Center, where precision meets perfection.
At the Galaxy Bowling Center and Champions Bar and Grill, we have activities galore, including video games, bowling, pool, delicious food at Champions, plus karaoke and live entertainment 7 days a week. Enjoy the climate-controlled patio, watch NFL football, and your Kentucky Wildcats all season long. The Galaxy Bowling Center and Champions Bar and Grill, just off exit 87 at 1025 Amberley Way in Richmond.
Have you heard about JB's Grow Shop? They are one of the most unique businesses in Richmond. If you're a farmer or a gardener, then you and JB's Grow Shop will make a great team. They provide the highest quality organic soils, nutrients, castings, and much more to meet your indoor and outdoor growing needs. Their experts will meet with you and make sure that you are getting the most out of your homegrown plants. JB's Grow Shop is located in the Southern Hills Plaza Shopping Center at 956 Commercial Drive in Richmond.
Welcome back into the EKU Game Day Show. So glad to be with you here as we close out another season of doing the tailgate / rebranded EKU Game Day Show this year. It's our final home game of the regular season. We will have a show next Saturday as we close out the regular season. Obviously, Colonels' playoff hopes kind of diminished last week with the loss at home to Southern Utah. But today it's Abilene Christian, number 18 in the country, and a big one for the Colonels coming off that loss to Southern Utah last week. You want to end this season on a high note. Coach Wells talked about it. You got to get a victory today. You can watch the game on ESPN Plus as the sports broadcasting crew here will have that for you. And EKU, a third meeting all time today with Abilene Christian. Last year, Abilene Christian won in Abilene. Final score there was 34-20 in favor of Abilene Christian. That one took place early on in the regular season. And EKU won the first meeting between these two teams back in 2021. The final score there was 30-15. Colonels entered the contest today at 4-6 on the season, just 2-4 in the UAC, while the Wildcats of Abilene come in 6-4 overall, a 5-1 conference record. And as Coach Wells talked about, they do have that tiebreaker over Tarleton State now. So if the two teams in with the same record, I believe that would mean that Abilene Christian would get the conference win and take home the top spot in the conference, get that automatic bid into the postseason. EKU will look to bounce back after that 27-17 loss to Southern Utah, giving up 10 points in the second half. That wasn't a lot, but when you don't score in the second half, 10 points is hard to overcome. The Colonels will look for more from quarterback Miles Burkett and wide receiver Marcus Cowwise Jr. As we talked about earlier, the two have hooked up for 4 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, making it 6 touchdowns total between the two in running and passing. Burkett's ran for a couple, and Cowwise has caught 4. So those two guys have been the catalyst offensively, but Burkett also throwing that interception last week. It was recovered on a fumble, but that's one thing that Miles has really struggled with this season is protecting the football. Turnovers will once again be pivotal in this matchup as the Colonels' success on defense with the Maroon Doom defense creating 17 turnovers on the season. That is the 12th most in all of FCS and a positive 4 turnover margin. That is 25th best in the country. Saturday will also mark the 4th time EKU has faced a ranked opponent this season. The team is 1-2 thus far in those matchups, with the only win coming over Austin Peay on this field. Under head coach Walt Wells, EKU is 7-7 against ranked opponents in the regular season. And again, another test today as they take on Abilene Christian. Saturday's matchup will be pivotal for ACU as a win will keep them in at least a tie for first place in the UAC with Tarleton State, who the Wildcats beat earlier this season 31-28 on a last-second field goal. They come to Richmond after dismantling Utah Tech 31-10 last week, and their defense has also been a ball-hawking unit, forcing 18 turnovers this year with a +5 turnover margin, a stark improvement from last year when they were a -8 in turnover margin. And against the Trailblazers last week, ACU had 4 interceptions, 2 of which were returned to the end zone for the team's first 14 points. Their offense is powered by 6th-year senior quarterback Stone Earl, who has accounted for 256.9 yards of total offense per game while throwing 16 touchdowns and rushing for 7, accounting for the second most points in the UAC this season. On the year, Earl has thrown for 2,235 yards, the second most in the conference. And with a name like Stone Earl, you know you got to be a good football player, because you walk in here with a name like that, you got to be able to tote the rock and toss it around, and he has obviously done that for ACU this season. We talked about their win over Tarleton State. That was a fun one just a few weeks ago. It was back on November 1st. It was right after Halloween. 31-28 was the final score there. ACU getting the victory, and they were able to pick off Gabalis, who was so good against EKU here on homecoming. And Stone Earl in that game was 16 of 25, 202 passing yards, a TD, and a pick. And the running game worked really well for ACU in that game. E.J. Wilson, 10 carries, 105 yards. Ravon Banks Jr., 10 carries, 83 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Earl also ran for 23 yards and a score. So look for him to kind of showcase his running and throwing ability here this afternoon against the Colonels. Wins over Stephen F. Austin, Austin P., North Alabama, West Georgia. We just talked about the Tarleton State win, and they also beat Utah Tech. That is the wins this year for Abilene Christian. Losses to Tulsa. They lost to TCU 42-21. Lost to Incarnate Word 38-7. And they also lost to Southern Utah 31-24. That's the only blemish on the conference record for Abilene Christian. They lost to Southern Utah. EKU lost to Southern Utah last week. So we'll see if the Colonels can get going again today. It's a Big Ten. Listen, who does not love the opportunity to play spoiler? You get a chance to bring in a ranked team that's fighting for the number 1 seed in the conference, a chance to knock them off. And for these seniors, we know the season hasn't gone the way you wanted it to. If you can stake your claim as we were at home, our final regular season home game of our career, and you knock off Abilene Christian, who was the number 1 team in the conference, that's a great way to kind of close out a rough year for some of these guys. So we'll see if they can get the job done today. It's EKU and Abilene Christian. We'll step aside and come right back. It's been a big week for EKU sports. Volleyball season winding down, and basketball is underway. We had a big game this past Monday as they unveiled the new Baptist Health Arena. WKU and EKU. We'll look back at the loss for the Colonels there in the opening of Baptist Health Arena. When we come back, it's college football here today. EKU and Abilene Christian. Thanks for watching the EKU Game Day Show.
We would like to invite you to join our family at Bishop's Small Engine Repair.
Outdoor Power has become a family tradition, with 3 generations here bringing you years of experience.
We will help you find the best selection of outdoor power equipment from Co-Cadet, Grasshopper, DeWalt, Makita, Echo, Shindawa, and now still in our Georgetown store.
Or bring your equipment into our service department. We will keep it running for years to come.
And as with all families, we have to keep Mama happy. So come on in and see us at Bishop's Small Engine Repair in Richmond and in Georgetown.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
When life throws you a curveball, Richmond City Taxi is just a call away. Fast, friendly, and always dependable. Just had an eye appointment? Don't risk driving home. Let Richmond City Taxi get you there safely. We're your neighbor on the go. Wherever you are, we'll be there. Richmond City Taxi. Local, reliable, trusted. Call Richmond City Taxi at 859-779-4461.
Founded by Kentuckians for Kentuckians. Whitaker Bank is a uniquely Kentucky bank committed to the communities it serves. At Whitaker Bank, you'll find personalized service, a dedication to excellence, and a genuine desire to help you achieve your financial goals. Visit us at any of our conveniently located branches or go to whitakerbank.com to learn how Whitaker Bank can serve you. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
Cars of Kentucky is a proud sponsor of Eastern Kentucky University Athletics. In Richmond, we bleed maroon. Go Colonels. And when you're ready for your next pre-owned automobile, swing on over to Cars of Kentucky. Cars of Kentucky has vehicles starting at $3,000 and up, so we literally have something for every budget. 356 Big Hill Avenue in Richmond, or check them out, carsofkentucky.com. Let's go Colonels!
We're back here on the EKU Game Day Show. Michael Watkins here with you. And as the Colonels prepare for battle today, it's a big opportunity that lies ahead. We've had a lot of those this year. We talked about the ranked opponents. We've faced 4 of them this year. And Tarleton State and Austin Peay were ranked opponents that came in to Roy Kidd Stadium. So you get the chance to play all of those teams and Southern Utah as well. So you've played all of those ranked opponents in your home stadium. So to not be able to get those wins except for the Austin Peay game, not the way you want this season to go. When you can play all your toughest games at home, that is a big deal, taking out Louisville and Marshall, obviously, into account, those FBS schools. But for EKU football, a chance to make that 500 record today against ranked opponents. You also get a chance to knock off the #1 team in the conference, and you get a chance to go out on a high note for these seniors. So while there's not much riding on the line for what happens after this game as far as the team goes, these guys can hold their head high and know that they accomplished something at some point in the year, knocking off 2 ranked teams if you get a win today. And again, you beat the #1 team in the conference. And we talked about how big of a week it was. Well, men's basketball and women's basketball played their first games in the finally fully renovated Baptist Health Arena. EKU men's basketball played Western Kentucky University in the first game in the new arena, and they built a 69-65 lead with 4:49 left in the game. But Western Kentucky used an 18-6 run to pull out an 87-79 victory in Richmond on Monday. Juan Cranford Jr. hit a jumper, and Evans Paul finished at the basket with a dunk to give the Colonels a 4-point lead with less than 5 minutes to go. Armello Boone's three-pointer started the run for the Hilltoppers. A jumper from Tegan Moore broke a 72-72 tie, and WKU led the rest of the way. Moore's layup with 46 seconds left capped off the run and gave the visitors an 8-point advantage, 83-75. The Hilltoppers turned the ball over only 3 times against the Colonels and outscored EKU 15-2 in points off turnovers. Austin Ball led the Colonels with 20 points. Shaylin Cooper had a game-best 14 rebounds and 8 points. And Montavious Myrick finished with 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. WKU jumped out to an early 11-6 lead, but Eastern stormed back. Jackson Holt tied it with a three-pointer, but Cooper's three from the top of the key gave the Colonels their first lead, 14-13. Ball's triple made it 20-15. 6 straight points late in the half allowed EKU to take a 32-28 lead. Myrick scored all 6, hitting on a spinning layup, putting in a jumper in the paint, and then another jumper from the right block. However, the Hilltoppers scored the final 4 points of the opening period and led 37-36 at halftime. WKU opened up a 5-point lead early in the second half. Ball's jumper and three-pointer from the right corner tied it up at 43. And then 3 free throws from Ball with 13:56 left to go put the team in front, 53-50. EKU's largest lead came with 10:13 remaining after MJ Williams hit a 15-footer. Cranford made a floater in the lane, and Cooper connected on a layup for a 61-55 edge. But it wasn't enough as the Colonels dropped their First game of the season against Western Kentucky. Moore had a game best 22 points for the Hilltoppers, and the Colonels lost later on that week on Wednesday to Vanderbilt on the road. A tough week for EKU men's basketball as they lost to Western on Monday and to Vanderbilt on Wednesday. Got to get things going here now as we go into a new week. And, of course, tomorrow the women will play. They'll be back in action. And then volleyball as well. It's senior day for them. So we'll talk about all that. We'll look ahead to the volleyball matchup, and we'll dive deeper into this matchup between EKU and Abilene Christian. That's the football game today. Kickoff at 3 p.m., so still plenty of time to get out, get your tickets for the game, and get ready for some college football. A big one in Richmond today for the Colonels as they host number 18 ranked Abilene Christian. We'll step aside. We'll come back. We'll talk volleyball and more on the EKU Game Day Show.
When it comes to auto service, two things are important: experience and hometown service. Hall & Sons Auto Care is starting their 20th year in business in Richmond. That's 20 years locally owned and operated. Hall & Sons Auto Care can take care of you from preventative maintenance to major engine repair. Hall & Sons Auto Care is also carrying BW towing products as well as rough country suspension and lift kits. Give us a chance to be your auto repair shop. Visit us at 209 North Keeneland Drive in Richmond.
Granite, marble, and quartz for any surface. Make a lifetime commitment you won't regret.
In the event of an accident, please contact Shane Blankenship and Brandon Witt at Berea Collision, where you will receive exceptional quality and competitive pricing. Located behind Near New Auto at 110 Fairground Road in Berea, they are dedicated to serving their local community with top-notch repairs and unparalleled customer service. Berea Collision also services RVs, buses, and campers. Call them today at 859-985-2583 to experience the Berea Collision difference. Berea Collision Center, where precision meets perfection.
At the Galaxy Bowling Center and Champions Bar and Grill, we have activities galore, including video games, bowling, pool, delicious food at Champions, plus karaoke and live entertainment 7 days a week. Enjoy the climate-controlled patio, watch NFL football, and your Kentucky Wildcats all season long. The Galaxy Bowling Center and Champions Bar and Grill, just off exit 87 at 1025 Amberley Way in Richmond.
Have you heard about JB's Grow Shop? They are one of the most unique businesses in Richmond. If you're a farmer or a gardener, then you and JB's Grow Shop will make a great team. They provide the highest quality organic soils, nutrients, castings, and much more to meet your indoor and outdoor growing needs. Their experts will meet with you and make sure that you are getting the most out of your homegrown plants. JB's Grow Shop is located in the Southern Hills Plaza Shopping Center at 956 Commercial Drive in Richmond.
Welcome back into the EKU Game Day Show. It's senior day for the Colonels as they host Abilene Christian on the football field. It was senior day for the EKU volleyball team, and they won 3-1 over North Alabama at Baptist Health Arena on Friday, their first volleyball game in the new arena, and the win is the 20th of the season for the Colonels and marks the first time since 2003, 2004, and 2005 that EKU has won 20 matches in 3 straight seasons. Now the Colonels will begin play in the Atlantic Sun Conference Tournament on Thursday in Fort Myers, Florida. The seed and opponent will be determined following the conclusion of the regular season today. So a lot riding now for the EKU volleyball team, who have closed out the season strong. They've done a really good job with Coach John Abazani of building this volleyball program back up, and they'll begin postseason play this week. EKU won Friday's matches by scores of 25-11, 25-18. They lost 19-25 in the third set before winning the fourth set 25-21. And they started strong and never looked back in those sets, doing a great job to close out the regular season with a big victory. And again, they will begin conference play this Thursday in Fort Myers, Florida. It was their first volleyball game in Baptist Health Arena on Friday. The men's basketball team opened up the arena with a big game against Western Kentucky on Monday. And on Monday, Samantha Burford and I did our Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show from Baptist Health Arena, where we talked to President David McFadden of EKU about the relevance and how important it is to have Baptist Health Arena back open. Here's that interview with David McFadden from Monday night. Welcome back into Baptist Health Arena for the unveiling of the newly renovated arena here on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University. Michael Watkins, Samantha Burford, now joined by the president of Eastern Kentucky University, David McFadden. Sir, welcome in once again. Always a pleasure to talk to you. And it's a good thing to talk to you today because of the unveiling of the new arena. Talk about what it means to the university and how hard all these people worked to make a night like tonight possible.
Well, I think you hit on it right there. Tonight is only possible because of the dedication and support of so many people on our campus, so many people in our community.
Yeah.
We're excited. I mean, obviously, it's excited to really open this place back up with the Battle of the Bluegrass, bringing the Hilltoppers in here. It's going to be an electric atmosphere.
Yeah, that's one thing we were talking about, Samantha.
Right.
Like, if you are a college basketball fan, this is the kind of game that you just kind of sulk in. I mean,
It's like rivalry week.
It really is. You got the big one tomorrow, too. But we want to take center stage tonight, and rightfully so.
Monday night.
Well, the most exciting thing is you're sitting in what I would argue is the best competition arena in Kentucky now.
Yes.
End to end, not a bad seat in the house. It's going to be an electric atmosphere. Coach Hamilton and the Colonels are going to be ready. We're always excited to have that rivalry experience, and it's going to bring our community out. Our students are excited. Yeah. Our community is excited. It's a great day.
And it's snowing outside. I mean, that's the crazy part.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I knew it was supposed to
It's
snow.
part of the whiteout.
Yeah.
But it's exactly. I knew what was going on. Mother Nature knew what was going on.
Now you missed the calling. But
I
it's all
did.
good.
I did. Well, Samantha, listen, I've got plenty of time. I got an hour from the time we go off the air to the game time.
I called him an hour and a half ago and said, it's a whiteout. Make sure you wear white. He goes, I'm wearing maroon.
But
he was already here.
When you talk about this matchup, the importance of having this be the first game here. So talk about that and why it's important to have Western be the first game in the new arena.
Right.
You know, I think for Matt Roan and I, when we started this process several years ago, we really envisioned that this was going to be something special. This is an iconic place. It is an iconic space. So many memories. If you go back and look at the history between the two schools and the games that were played and the competitions that played out, it was as we said, the Battle of the Bluegrass for a long time. And so I think for us, it was just exciting to bring that nostalgia back as we kind of look forward into what's next.
Well, and talking to the athletic director, we found out that the student section will come down to the floor. So more to come.
A little bit more to come. Amazingly enough, while this has been a long process, to have 2 seasons, to be able to host our graduations, to have our community in here, we've really worked around everyone's calendar to make this renovation happen. We really needed 2 years to do what we've done in 12 months of construction. And so I got to say a big shout out to D.W. Wilburn, our partners there, KNBA, all the architects, our team here on campus. It's a phenomenal facility. It's going to be a great experience for all of our fans, to get all of our ADA and our accessibility issues addressed, for graduation, to have Madison Central, Madison Southern in here. We're just excited. So it's a great time.
Well, I told him about the elevator.
I didn't know about that.
I took the elevator down. And
we had to pack all the stuff down the stairs. Well, look, it's a good workout, though. We got our steps in that way.
Or you can come to the loading dock.
Oh, that's another way. That's another way to do it. But so Kyle said that the discussions to have this game here with Western happened a long time in advance.
Right.
Talk about those discussions with their president, with their AD, and how those went to be able to get them here tonight.
Well, I'll dispel a big myth. Presidents do not get involved in athletic scheduling. So, so athletic directors, coaches kind of work through that. But we've got a multi-game arrangement with them. We're doing home and homes with them. We've been there a couple times over the last few years. Excited to get them back here. I think getting them on the schedule, getting Murray State on the schedule, getting Moorhead on the schedule, I think it's good for Kentucky. And so we're excited about that. We're excited about the ASUN and this year's conference. We've got some great teams in there this year. We're excited about where we're going with the UAC next year and bringing some new folks in. It's going to be exciting. I mean, we're really excited about it.
This rivalry started back in 1914.
What was it like back then, by the way? You set yourself up. I had to.
I did.
All right, we can keep going. Keep going.
I mean, AW has been here for 8 years. The Western, this is his 2nd season, their coach. So there is a lot of competition that's going to be had out here tonight. And this rivalry has been years in the making.
Well, and I think even for our student athletes, Turner Buttrey, Mr. Kentucky basketball, we got some people that know Kentucky basketball on both these teams, but they feel it. You can tell that both teams, both sets of players feel the excitement around it. And we're hopeful to continue this partnership with the Hilltoppers, getting them on the schedule for basketball, for baseball, for softball. Those experiences are important, I think, for our state. It's good for us to showcase ourselves. And, tonight we're going to have lots of folks, not just here in the arena, but tuning in to watch this game.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know what?
Yeah.
We might set another program record tonight. You never know. Because we've had, how many did I say?
1914 was the first time
No, the record, remember?
Oh, 180 something?
113, 103, something like that. Well, we're making it up. But there's been 100, A.W. Hamilton has set 103 records with this program. So maybe we'll do another one tonight.
Well, before we let you go,
attendance.
What will you be doing? What does your evening look like? From what time you get done with us here, what does the rest of your night
look like? The most important thing was to come and see the folks at WBON.
Yes.
So, the staff got me on that. They were like, can you be here? I was like, I will be here. I will have my white on, and I will make it.
We appreciate it.
We'll go up to the Premium Club, have a chance to visit with some of our donors, some of our key folks who are coming to join us. My box is full. I've got lots of guests. So it's going to be a big night of really, engaging and celebrating the work that has been done here and get a chance to really cheer on the Colonels. I'll say that I'm a statistician, historically former student SID, a disciple of Carl Park. So I will be counting rebounds and turnovers and all
the important ones,
all the important things. So I'll be checking the trends on all that. But we're excited about tonight. And at the end of the day, it's a great night for Richmond. It's a great night for Madison County. It's going to be a great night for EKU.
And I guess it's close enough that Western, I'm sure their athletic director, their president, they all may be here to visit you too.
Well, the Board of Student Body Presidents were here, so I just met their student body president, spoke to all the student body presidents that are in town. So we've got folks from Northern, from Moorhead, all coming to watch the game tonight. So it's exciting.
That is a big
We'll let you go and get back to it. We'll close out. Remember, less than 100 tickets remain for the matchup tonight. So you better get here quick, get your tickets, and reserve yourself a spot for WKU and EKU. We'll wrap up things when we come back. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're live at Baptist Health Arena on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
We would like to invite you to join our family at Bishop's Small Engine Repair.
Outdoor Power has become a family tradition, with 3 generations here bringing you years of experience.
We will help you find the best selection of outdoor power equipment from Code Cadet, Grasshopper, DeWalt, Makita, Echo, Shindawa, and now Steel in our Georgetown store.
Or bring your equipment into our service department. We will keep it running for years to come.
And as with all families, we have to keep Mama happy. So come on in and see us at Bishop's Small Engine Repair in Richmond and in Georgetown.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
When life throws you a curveball, Richmond City Taxi is just a call away. Fast, friendly, and always dependable. Just had an eye appointment? Don't risk driving home. Let Richmond City Taxi get you there safely. We're your neighbor on the go. Wherever you are, we'll be there. Richmond City Taxi. Local, reliable, trusted. Call Richmond City Taxi at 859-779-4461.
Founded by Kentuckians for Kentuckians, Whitaker Bank is a uniquely Kentucky bank committed to the communities it serves. At Whitaker Bank, you'll find personalized service, a dedication to excellence, and a genuine desire to help you achieve your financial goals. Visit us at any of our conveniently located branches or go to whitakerbank.com to learn how Whitaker Bank can serve you. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
Cars of Kentucky is a proud sponsor of Eastern Kentucky University Athletics. In Richmond, we bleed maroon. Go Colonels. And when you're ready for your next pre-owned automobile, swing on over to Cars of Kentucky. Cars of Kentucky has vehicles starting at $3,000 and up, so we literally have something for every budget. 356 Big Hill Avenue in Richmond, or check them out, carsofkentucky.com. Let's go Colonels!
All right, welcome back into the EKU Game Day Show. Howard has officially joined us. He's finally got all of his makeup on. Listen, we got to get you up a little bit earlier on Saturday to get you up here on time.
I just got my times mixed up.
No, that was my fault probably, too.
I have actually been sitting down by the dressing room for the last 45 minutes.
Just hanging out. You could have been up here hanging out with us.
I thought we was from 12 to 1.
Well, now I'm going to make him come and finish out the season with me next week. But, Howard, you've been down here, obviously, and the weather today, the temperature is great. It's the wind that's going to cause problems for the folks here at Roy Kidd Stadium and CG Bank Field. And, you've been – how many games do you think you've been to here?
In the stadium,
you think 200 is a stretch?
Let's make it easy on ourselves, and let's think in terms of how many games have I not
been to. Okay, all right, there you go.
Those games would be easier to count.
but you've been here a lot. You've seen wind like we have today before.
Yeah,
it's very hard to throw the football when this wind is doing its thing. It's swirling around. So today could be a very run-heavy football game, which I think with the defense they play and the way they run the ball themselves could favor EKU.
Well, the wind is a factor that comes within coaching.
Yeah.
Okay, if the wind is a factor, then your coaches, offensive coordinators, have to make the adjustment to where throwing the ball does not have to be eliminated from your game plan. You just might shorten your passes or whatever, and that depends on both the quarterback and your receivers.
Yeah.
Because if they put enough time in and got that timing down, they've worked together under all sorts of elements. So it just depends on the old saying, proper preparation.
There you go.
The 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Okay.
So if they prepared, it shouldn't be a factor.
We know last week you and I talked about the scheduling and the potential of EKU, maybe the idea of moving one of those FBS games to later in the year. I know today Kentucky's playing Tennessee Tech. Austin Peay's playing out of conference against Samford. There's a lot of games like that. And EKU's playing an in-conference game against Abilene Christian, which is good. You want to close out the season with a good team. But it would be so nice to not start off 0-2 every year.
Yeah, it would.
And when you play those FBS schools, you got a 25 or a 30-point spread. We know how big of a hill that is to overcome. And then you start an even bigger hill when you start the season 0-2, because the average fan that doesn't come to Roy Kidd Stadium maybe once a year, they see, Eastern's 0-2 this year, must be a bad year.
Yeah, that's true.
And they don't know we've played Marshall and Louisville.
They don't have no idea as to how the team has competed in that situation. They just look at the W or the L and make their assumption from that, and that can be very misleading at times.
Well, before
I tell you this, there's been some fans that have missed out on some good football because of that.
Yeah, and you see it every year. I mean, it's just so hard to overcome that 0-2 start to the season. Before we close things out, it's been a busy week here. We had men's basketball against Western on Monday. Women's basketball has been busy this week. EKU volleyball closed out a good regular season last night with the Senior Day win. So as an EKU sports fan, this is really a great time of year as we go into the postseason for volleyball. Wish it was that way for football, but basketball is already underway as well.
I tell people all the time, and people probably get tired of listening or hearing me say it, EKU athletics, as far as Richmond and Madison County is concerned, EKU athletics is the best, well-kept secret in our community. A lot of times you hear people talking about where there's nothing to do, nothing going on, this, that, such, another. They feel that way because they're not aware of the constancy of, is that a word?
Consistency?
No, no consistency.
Okay.
But the constancy.
Hey, you make it a word. If you go with it, I'll go with it. You just tell me.
The constant activities that's going on campus.
There's a lot of them.
There's always something going on, and it's just that building of a relationship between the communications between the campus and the community to where people know, hey, we're doing this weekend, we're doing that in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
And it's a part of just coming together, really.
There you go. Well, folks, thanks for watching us here. Howard will join me next week. We'll close out the regular season. We'll make sure we've got our P's and Q's ready to go.
Exactly.
And we'll see you next time as we close out another EKU football regular season with the EKU Game Day Show.